Alright guys, another installment of the Octavia project, something I wasn't expecting to do and something that looks like a complete disaster. There's no heat in the car, the temperatures have dropped, so I've had to put the heating on, except there is no heat. So quick little browse around YouTube, and it turns out this is a super common problem, and it happens to all the Mark IV platforms. And it looks like, well, I put a camera in there, and I've got the usual problem. The foam on the blend doors has disappeared. So in this video, I'm going to try and fix this problem without taking the car completely apart. The thing I'm going to try and avoid doing is taking this lot apart. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. The issue is going to be that I'm going to need to, there's a metal frame behind all this, which I'm going to need to get out. And I think to do that, I'm going to have to remove this and remove this. And I think to do that, I've got to take this out, which is what I don't want to do. But to kick off anyway, I know I'm going to have to take this off. So I've got a bags marker for all the frickin' pieces that are going to be coming out of this car. Absolutely essential for these type of jobs. Electric screwdriver. Stereo's putting up a fucking fuss, so I'm gonna have to take the dashboard out. So we're gonna call that part one for now. Alright dudes, I'm back. What a nightmare this is. So in the end I have to take out the center console, which on its own is not the big part. I mean, you take out the ashtray at the back, you got two screws, you take that out, the rear section comes out, you take out the armrest before. You just got the screws at the side here, the rest of it clips out. You got two screws at either side, which I can't get to. I don't know how people get to. They got to take the seats out or something. So I didn't do that. In the end, I had to take the freaking handbrake out. And hopefully this is going to give me the room now to pull this out. Got these connectors at the back. But anyway, I've got the room behind it now. And I can finally got my eye on the prize. How I'm going to put all these cables back at the end, I do not know. But this is it. I've pulled it out and that's what's come out. As everyone says, I've got zero here, zero foam in here, zero foam at the back. So I've just hooked up the Climatronic again. So I'm just going to okay, so there's the fans blowing. This is, I don't know what that is. This is blowing towards the face. This is blowing towards the legs. So that looks like a 50-50 jobby thing. Anyway, that's what the vents do for the different modes. Let's cover these things up and see what happens. Okay, so I've used this HBX tape. Supposed to be good up to 120 Celsius and down to like minus numbers. Got it set up now on the first one anyway. So this is blowing to the demister, and it's quite a strong, decent blowing going on there. Yeah, all in all, so far so good. Next thing is to do the rear one. There's actually two. There's one there and then there's one just behind it. I'm not sure if you can see it in there. So both of those need to be covered up. I'm just doing it with a brake cleaner and a microfiber, and I'll do it the same with this aluminium foil stuff. All right, guys. I missed a little bit of the video, but basically I put the cover back in, and this was a real ball acher. And what I ended up having to do was to get rid of that catch at the top. Now the biggest issue I'm having now is trying to get this bloody head unit back in. Hopefully I can get it from here as well. Because if I have to unplug everything, this should be a major fucking disaster. Do you see what I'm doing here? Basically I don't have to unplug everything from the back, because there is a fucking load of stuff plugged into this thing. It's an Alpine nav unit from about 10 years ago. It's a great unit. I mean, It wasn't cheap when it was new, that's for sure. But, you know, I don't know if you can see how many cables are coming out of it at the back. I mean, it's a major... It's connected in a huge way. But something... The USBs come off it. Oh my god. There is a USB, external USB on it, but the connector on it is miserable. I'm doing this first, because definitely I don't have to take this bloody center console out again for the sake of the radio not working. So stereo's still working. Just check the reverse camera, still working. It's dirty at the moment, that camera. And then I'm just going to go to source, check the radio, it's still working. And then I've just got my bags here with all the bolts and where they came from. Clean my surround. And while I was in here, I also did the shifter linkage, the first gear getter. I didn't get it from Diesel Geek in America because the shipping's very expensive. So I got it from AliExpress, and I can tell you it's not as good from what I can tell as the Diesel Geek one, because this, you need to super glue it into this, and hopefully the super glue is going to hold up. The Diesel Geek one's an interference fit's supposed to say solid, but that one does not. The Chinese one doesn't. So if you've got the option to get the Diesel Geek one, the shipping's not too crazy, get the Diesel Geek one. I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. And that's basically it, guys. I was going to do a time lapse, putting it all back together, but there's not really a lot to it. It's just what made it difficult on this car was just like that radio with the amount of cables behind. It was difficult to take out, and it was a bit tricky to put back in. But yeah, it goes back all right, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world, the job. It's just super time consuming. So that's it. I've got it on now. It's quite cold outside. What's the temperature now? 15 outside. So it's cold enough. I've got the heat on. I've got it on auto, and it's freaking fantastic in here. So a big win on the heat. Fingers crossed that foil will last. But the glue on it seemed like mega sticky. That's it for this video. As always, if you enjoyed it, please vote on it. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you again in the next video.